The cabin lights were dim, the engines hummed under the metal wings, and the passengers were settling into their midnight flight when the chaos began. A young father, barely holding himself together, bounced a red-faced, trembling baby against his chest. The child's cries, sharp and desperate, sliced through the quiet like shattered glass. The rows around him shifted in irritation, heads turning, eyes narrowing, whispers rising. And there, in the middle of it all, the single father whispered apologies with trembling lips, helpless and exhausted, while his baby screamed louder, the sound echoing through the tense silence of the night sky. If you believe in kindness and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Soul Tale. Your support helps us bring more heart-touching stories to life. The young father's name was Noah, a man who had aged 10 years in the past 10 months. His daughter, little Emma, had been born on the brightest day of his life, and he had lost Emma's mother just 3 weeks later. Since then, parenting felt like walking through an unfamiliar forest in the dark, with no map and no help. Tonight's flight was supposed to be a new start. Noah had finally found a better job in another state, one that might give Emma the stability he'd been praying for. But as the plane climbed into the clouds, Emma's tiny body trembled with fatigue, overstimulation, hunger, and confusion. Her cries didn't stop, they intensified. Passengers shifted uncomfortably. A businessman pulled his headphones higher. A woman pressed her face into her scarf. A teenager muttered something loud enough for everyone to hear. Noah felt their frustration build like a pressure cooker around him. The more they reacted, the more his shame grew. He rocked Emma desperately, whispered soothing words she couldn't understand, and cursed himself silently for not being able to calm his own child. Tears of frustration stung his eyes. He had packed her milk, he had prepared her blanket, he had done everything, but nothing was enough. Across the aisle sat a woman named Maya, traveling alone, her face pale with exhaustion. She had her own story hidden behind soft eyes and quiet mannerisms. She was a single mother herself, though tonight she traveled without her son, who stayed with his grandparents while she rushed to an emergency meeting. She noticed the exhaustion in Noah's hunched shoulders long before the first complaint from passengers began. She saw the way his arms trembled as he held Emma, the way he swallowed his own emotions to remain gentle for his baby, and she recognized the silent panic in his eyes, because she had lived it. As Emma's cries rose, passengers began asking flight attendants to intervene. A few frustrated voices demanded something be done. A heavy tension filled the cabin. Noah's face flushed with embarrassment as he apologized again and again. He adjusted Emma's blanket, offered her the bottle, patted her back. Nothing worked. The louder she cried, the more fragile he became. He was moments away from breaking. That's when Maya did something no one expected. Without hesitation, she unbuckled her seatbelt, ignored the annoyed looks, and approached Noah with a soft, gentle steadiness. She whispered that she had raised a baby alone too, that she knew this moment by heart. She held out her arms, not intrusive, not forceful, simply offering. Noah froze, stunned by the quiet compassion of a stranger in a world that had mostly judged him. Something in Maya's calm presence made him trust her instantly. With trembling hands, he placed Emma into her arms. The transformation was immediate and unbelievable. Maya held Emma the way only someone experienced with years of sleepless nights and colicky cries understood. She rested the baby on her shoulder, swaying gently, humming a soft melody that only mothers know, something warm, rhythmic, and ancient in its comfort. Emma's sobs softened, then slowed, then, unbelievably, melted into tiny hiccups before fading into silence. Her small fingers curled around Maya's shirt as her breathing steadied. Within minutes, the baby fell asleep peacefully. The cabin fell quiet. The irritated expressions around them softened into awe. A few people looked away, ashamed of their earlier reactions. Noah stared in disbelief, his relief so overwhelming that tears finally fell. He covered his face for a moment, shoulders shaking, the weight of months lifting in one impossible moment. Maya placed a gentle hand on his arm, grounding him, reminding him he wasn't alone, even if everyone else had made him feel like he was. As the flight continued, They talked quietly. Maya learned that Noah had been navigating fatherhood without anyone to guide him. Noah learned that Maya had lost her partner too, and had rebuilt her life piece by piece. Two strangers, bound by the silent battles of single parenthood, found unexpected comfort in shared vulnerability somewhere above the clouds. For nearly an hour, Maya held Emma so Noah could rest. He watched them with a softness he hadn't felt in months, grateful, relieved, and utterly moved by her kindness. When the plane landed, the passengers who once glared at him now offered small smiles. A few even apologized. But the person Noah would never forget was the single mother who stepped out of her seat, walked into chaos, and gave him something priceless: hope. When they reached the terminal, Emma still slept peacefully on Maya's shoulder. Noah offered to carry her, but Maya smiled, savoring the moment. As she handed the baby back, she left Noah with a memory that would stay with him forever. Just before they went their separate ways, she told him something that would echo in his mind for years: that sometimes life brings strangers into our path at the exact moment we need saving, not because we are weak, but because love still exists in unexpected places. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to Soul Tale. Your support helps us keep telling stories that remind the world of kindness.